The Blazing Defender Report with your host, Travis Jones. And now, for your listening pleasure, the Blazing Defender Report with your host, Travis Jones. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very, very special episode of the Blazing Defender Report, the premiere episode of the Mando Monolouges. Guys, I had to search the verse for in my podcasting guild. I sent out 2 pucks and 2 fearless podcasting soldiers answered the call. I have with me TV's Casey and Botched Dennis Robinson. What's going on, guys?
Hey, it's good to be here, man. It's been too long.
Way too long, brother. Way too long. Hey, but it took The Mandalorian to get us all back together, right? We're good with that.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
100%. So, we're going to go ahead and get it started, guys. Chapters 1 and 2 are out. What's up, Debo? What's going on, guys? So we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things we like, some of the things we didn't like about this series, where we think it's going to go. We're going to get into some Star Wars lore. I know Casey has a theory that kind of coincides with my theory on Wee Baby Yoda, and we're just going to get into it. So, guys, Casey, I'll start with you. What'd you think? What'd you think of the first 2 chapters, man?
It's a motherfucking space western, man. I had no idea how much I craved this since playing The Outer Worlds recently and also watching Firefly like 15 years ago.
Right.
And it really fits in Star Wars. We've got some similar stuff like Cad Bane episodes of Clone Wars and things like that hit like a similar chord, but seeing this live action, big budget, it was incredible. I almost felt like a kid again.
Right.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, they nailed the old Star Wars aspect of it just enough. It looks like something new, but something very, very familiar. Dennis, what'd you think?
Oh, I loved it too. Pretty much same thing Casey said, the sort of Western feel to it, but it definitely felt like old school Star Wars, not so much the newer stuff of Star Wars, but it did. I was thinking the same thing. It had a very Firefly feel to it, especially the bar fight at the beginning of the first episode. And that was teased a little bit in the trailers, but we finally got to see like the whole way through it. But it also has that old Western feel of the sort of pragmatic, doesn't say much like lead of our show. Now, as the show goes on, we get a little bit more. He talks a little more quippy, but still very minor things that he says when he talks. So basically, that's when it matters. I love it so far. I think the action's good. I think the effects are better than I was expecting them to be, other than like a few kind of odd little things, but still
those big dinosaur guys.
Yeah, the big dinosaur guys.
A little shaky.
I say this, still better CG than Black Panther. So,
Right. Very true. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Westerns. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Unforgiven is like probably still one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
The entirety of Deadwood.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, love. I love westerns, and this, it has that space western, and I mean, Casey brought up a good point. I hadn't even thought about that, but Firefly, which is one of my favorite series of all time. It's very Firefly like right now. But I will say, if I have a knock on it, the pacing is just a little bit slow for me. But I get that, and I know what they're trying to do. And if you watch some of the old westerns, spaghetti westerns, they had slow pacing. It kind of builds that tension, that like, oh my God, what's getting ready to happen next? You know what I mean? But I do
3.5 hours long.
What's that? Yeah, true.
Good, the Bad, and Ugly is a long fucking movie. So yeah, they definitely go with a slow pace.
They do, and that's something that we had talked about a little bit off camera, was the timing or the time of these episodes. I think we had 39 minutes the first episode, and then like 33 the next.
Yeah.
Which is a little
and
disappointing.
2 minutes of opening credits.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like they film him walking places a lot. Like, he's always walking somewhere, and they're showing it. I get most of that is to show the world that we're in, to give us a feel of where he's at. But I'm kind of like, all right, man, you got about 18 minutes left of fucking story. Let's get to it. You
have not shot enough motherfuckers quite yet for me.
Exactly.
Wait, you say that the first episode, some of those walking shots, I was like, I feel like he walks like he can't see shit in that helmet.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Real wonky. But
So,
the second
I mean,
episode.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I said that.
Yeah, the helmet
I have
thing.
spoken.
I mean, it's cool that he wears it all the time. But like, especially in chapter 2, when they're working on the ship and he's keeping it on, I'm like, man, take your goddamn helmet off,
Listen, well, it doubles as like a welding mask,
True.
See,
there's that shine from blaster bolts that are being fired right in front of you.
See, guys, he's not all looks. That's the reason we have Casey on the show. That's a fucking great point. I want to, in chapter 1, I do want to talk about some of the things that they did show, some things that we've never really seen before in Star Wars. This is something we've always wanted, guys, right? Is original
Let me stop you
stories.
there. I already know exactly what you're going to say.
What am I going to talk about? Go ahead.
They are roasting Salacious Crumb on a spit.
Yes.
It's great, especially considering he's absolutely a sentient creature watching another sentient creature get cooked alive.
I know. Yeah. It's like, and they have a sense of humor, man. It might be a morbid sense of humor, but, that was kind of like, oh, man, that's kind of sad.
I knew this show was going to a dark place real fast.
Right, yeah,
I'm
that's
expecting
true.
to see some cooked Ewoks by episode 5.
But what I want to talk about is something that, unless you actually, played Knights of the Old Republic, you may be unfamiliar with, is, the Mandalorians, the Mandalores, they were a race of people, and they had all this lore to them and this religion, and we actually got to see for the first time I think on screen is the introduction of Beskar alloy, or the Beskar metal, the Mandalorian iron. Yeah. That is revered by the Mandalorians. I thought that was fucking so cool, by him going to the blacksmith, and she had her own little special tools. This shit is kind of like adamantium in the Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't catch a lightsaber, dude.
Yeah, I think they said that it could take a few hits from a lightsaber before, I don't think it's completely indestructible.
No, it's not.
If you hit it enough times, the lightsaber probably wouldn't work, but
it can be pierced.
Yeah.
It will deflect blaster bolts, but it can be pierced by a lightsaber. But still, I mean, these guys in the Knights of the Old Republic, anyway, I mean, there was a story where, they actually fought the Jedi. So, and I mean, now granted, the Jedi ended up winning them, and that's what kind of scattered the Mandalorians out through the universe. But, I mean, they put up fights against Jedis, and these guys weren't force sensitive.
People with legitimate superpowers.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very, very cool. I was so fucking pumped to see that. What other Easter eggs did you see, Casey?
Other than looking at all the individual Mandalorians just kind of clubbing around,
so do we think that's Boba Fett?
No.
I agree.
Well, so there's a couple things I saw on that, because one article I read said that Boba Fett and Jango Fett were not actually Mandalorians, they just murdered a Mandalorian and took their armor or whatever.
They're posers.
They're posers. So So this other thing I read or saw, Mandalorians are not an actual race. There was a race at one time, and then they sort of just became sort of like cultural.
Right.
So they could allow other people in or anything like. So then they became more predominantly human.
Yep.
So I guess Boba Fett and Jango Fett could be technically Mandalorians, but if it's true that they did murder other Mandalorians to get their armor, I doubt they'd be the doorman at the freaking Mandalorian club.
Now, I didn't know that Django wasn't Mandalorian. I thought he was. Boba's not, obviously, because he's a clone.
I might be going off Legends knowledge here, but I'm pretty sure that Django was raised by an actual Mandalorian.
Yes, he was raised by a Mandalorian because his family got murdered.
Yeah.
And
so
then
he's a foundling.
He's a foundling.
There
And that's kind of what created the Mandalorians was, yeah, they're not so much a race, but they are basically a tribe of people that all worship the same things. It's like this Beskar ally. Well, yes, guns, violence, obviously.
Yeah.
This Beskar steel is very, like, it's holy to them. Mm-hmm. And even when she makes the little shoulder plate for him, she's like, hey, there's enough left over for many future foundlings, which we kind of see a little bit of an origin with him when I guess it was his parents being killed and him becoming a foundling in chapter 1
by battle droids.
Exactly. Yeah. Battle droids with better aim, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Well, no, they have no problem hitting civilians. They just don't hit anyone because plot armor.
Yeah.
Plot armor. There you go. Yeah, I like that. You had said that before.
Plot armor, the only thing better than Beskar.
So did you all catch it all? And I thought this was interesting. She asked him about his sigil or his symbol, if it's been revealed yet, and he says not yet. So
I wasn't quite sure. Well, so so I was looking this up. Mandalorian armor has different colors. They also use different symbols to mean different things. So my guess would be, if I recall correctly, his is just straight silver, which means he's in mourning or something like that, or it's to honor somebody. I forget exactly off the top of my head, but yeah, he must have some sigil somewhere, and he just has not revealed it. Maybe he doesn't.
Signs are pointing to dead wife, a classic trope of Western and science fiction, and pretty much everything.
Probably, yeah. That's
also
a good point.
He turned down Imperial credits, so I'm wondering if he's like secretly like super anti. Imperial, he's just not letting on to that yet because
it could be, but I took that, and that's true. That's a good point. I took that as the Empire has been defeated, and it's been 5 years, right, since Empire's fallen. So I felt that Empire credits just didn't hold their worth. Like fuck that, you know. That's a peso. Fuck that peso. You know what I mean?
Carl Weathers seems to believe it depends where you go.
They still spend.
Yeah.
Well, Carl Weathers was also trying to fuck him too.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to fuck him. Like, oh, take these. Yeah, these are great. These are still worth money. He's like, nah, I ain't taking that shit.
It's all about the hustle, man.
Yeah, right.
Hustle's better than Apollo Creed, or
But obviously, this is a little foreshadowing. This when he revealed, and thank you, Brian. Brian said it was his signet is what he called it.
Okay.
So when his signet's revealed, I'm sure it's going to be a larger plot device going forward.
Yeah, it's like Boba Fett's totally sweet horned skull Punisher.
Yeah, that's really cool. His is dope. I hope the Mandalorians is something along that line, like super dope, where you're going to see it on fucking t-shirts everywhere. I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, that sigil from Boba Fett actually has something to do with the planet that a lot of Mandalorians found, because it's a crate dragon skull.
Mandalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Mandalore. Yep.
So, Casey, I know you were super pumped about the IG droid going fucking absolutely bonkers in chapter 1.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of wish it was IG-88.
Yes.
But it doesn't really matter that it's not, because I think when you put Taika Waititi in the role,
I was gonna say I thought that's who that was.
It was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna be kind of like a sort of a goofy idiot, but not really. Like, the way they describe him is that he's a child with a gun, and as soon as he gets into like the tiniest bit of trouble, he's like, initiating self-destruct sequence. And I'm just like,
yeah,
all right, man, like, let's do it. Like, I'm ready. But seeing him in action was absolutely the best part of that first episode.
It was.
Other than the twist, which, I mean, whatever, fine. But, you know, all we've ever seen of IG-88, if you've never read, you know, the books, comics, you know, anything like that, is he's standing there 7 feet tall in Empire Strikes Back, and he does nothing. Right?
Right.
That's it. He's just on the bridge with all the other bounty hunters. In this, he's twisting his torso. He's shooting, arms like moving around, almost like an animatronic, but like how you would expect a robot to actually move.
Exactly.
You know, if
the one where he went behind his back.
Oh man,
that was dope. I was like, oh shit, that's cool as hell.
He shoots straight up without even turning, like moving his head up. Like,
his head has rings on it, so he can like look in pretty much 360 degrees at all times. Yeah,
and even some of the idle stuff, like when he steps over the corpse, like he doesn't step over it. His leg lifts and his hips twist.
Yes,
and he just puts another leg down. Oh man.
Yeah, it was really cool.
IG-14. What is his actual designation?
11.
IG-11.
Yeah, he's IG-11.
All right. So he's got a way to go before he gets to 88 status, but he's definitely a real contender in my book.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the client, real quick.
Acclaimed director Werner Herzog.
Dude, I mean, to me, other than like I'm the action guy, right? So I'm right there with you with the IG-11 fight, but that scene where they meet. And I was kind of like, dude, I was just like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Like, and I'll be honest, I kind of felt like what little dialogue there was up until that scene was a little choppy. It was a little wooden, if you will. But when we got to that scene, I was like, oh my God, if they give me a scene like this every episode, I will be in fucking heaven. But I want to talk about first I want to talk about the condition of the stormtroopers. So I think that kind of tells you where the Empire's at in this.
Oh, they look like shit.
They look like shit, man. And you could think about that like, some guys overseas that have been kind of stuck over there. There's, supply maybe, not coming in as regular as it is. Their shit's kind of tattered, worn.
Nobody likes you.
The Empire is on the fucking run in this. So Dr. Pershing, I'm sure the chat will correct me. Dr. Pershing, I believe is his name. And Casey, we can go ahead and get into this if you want.
Do you notice the symbol on his shoulder?
Camino.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Camino symbol. Facility. So are we speculating that Baby Yoda is a clone?
I either think he is a clone and they lost him, or they want him to clone him. Because if they already cloned him once, you'd think they'd still have like his material. They could just keep making more of them. Yeah. I'm wondering if they found out about it and they want him to clone him.
Maybe.
Which is why he said, I want to bring him back alive. And he's like, well, if you bring him back dead, it's fine too, because they can probably just use his material.
Sure.
That's why I'm thinking he wanted him alive, so that way it's a better chance to clone him.
And Casey, before you give us your theory, this is where I have an issue with him actually being a clone. I think Dennis is more on the track.
I got another one I'm going to throw at you.
Okay, great. I love him. This is what I love about Star Wars. We can fucking speculate all day, go down speculation town all day. Mm-hmm. But if he, obviously after chapter 2, we see he has force abilities. He's force sensitive.
Yep.
So now you're saying
he reaches out, just stopping that bull right in the tracks.
Yeah, the Mudhorn. Yeah. So we can clone force sensitive beings now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not unheard of, my man.
Well, that species, we don't know very much about it because
you don't know anything about it hardly.
Well, yeah, because George Lucas has been very, very tight-lipped about it. But he did say that species is all force sensitive.
Yep. The species but if he's a clone, how do you clone midichlorians? And if you could, why give us fucking stormtroopers with the world's shit or the galaxy's shittiest aim? Give me a fucking clone army of Sith troopers.
Do you really want to have an army that could turn against you with their fucking psychic mind powers?
Well, I know they implanted a chip in the stormtroopers to execute Order 66, so you could implant something for control. I mean, you're cloning it.
Heads,
it's Burger King, man. Have it your way. Yeah. So what do you got for me, Casey?
All right. Now I know quoting Last Jedi might be verboten all up in this because it is a super polarizing movie. but that thing about darkness rising and light to meet it.
Yes.
Baby Yoda's birthday is the same year as Anakin Skywalker.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, Yoda's species, if they are really intrinsically tied into maybe the Force itself, a state of balance, this baby could have been born out of the Force itself to be the real chosen one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the
That's
Force
true.
always knows what's up. The Force would have known that Anakin would fall to the dark side.
Okay, so then why did it give us, if that's true, then why did it give us Luke and Leia?
Well,
At the same time,
sometimes the Force can't control what the dark chosen one does,
now
with certain senators.
They forgot the baking time. The Force was
now-
like, oh shit, it takes 50 years. Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. Give me human kids. Come on.
well,
It's just taking too long.
and I hate to I don't know, deface Freddie Prinze Jr. on this.
Oh yeah, you saw that too, huh?
But yes, I did. Obviously,
that's apparently old. I asked my girlfriend about that. She's like, "Yeah, I saw this like months ago." I'm like, "You didn't say anything."
Yeah, and it just it just kind of like went viral again. I think.
Yeah.
Because somebody posted it, and I had never seen it. But he's talking about how when Palpatine and Vader got together, then the Force recorrected itself by giving us Leia and Luke. Okay, and that's fine. It's a great theory. But then, as you know, Casey, because I know you're an avid comic book reader, everything in the Marvel Comics, this is what a lot of people don't understand, everything that Marvel Comics is doing, Star Wars related, is canon. It is canon. So, Palpatine is the one that created Anakin with midichlorian manipulation. So the Force really didn't give us Anakin. You see what I'm saying?
But the Force gave us Palpatine. The chicken or the egg, Superman.
That's true. Yeah.
I like it better that they're just random and not there's a bad guy, now there's a good guy.
Now there's a good Listen, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s theory for the uninitiated that are listening is that the Force is all-encompassing. It knew everything that's going to happen, and it tries to exist in a permanent state of balance. And, he happened to throw in stuff like, oh, yeah, I met with George Lucas and whatever, and he said this. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. But also, you might be onto something. But at the same time, listen, some farm boy from the middle of nowhere ends up having a great destiny. It's a hero story everybody can appreciate.
Sure.
And it's entirely possible that, whether this Yoda is a clone or whatever, he could end up getting shot in the face in the next episode. And
it's true. We don't even know if he makes it out.
Fucking riot. But,
yeah.
I mean, if that's his fate per the Force, I mean, what a fucked up galaxy we live in.
True.
If he has to go, I hope he just gets eaten by a frog, because that would be like some sort of poetic justice, I feel like.
We're going to get a Force-sensitive frog that eats him.
I know what you did.
There's no way he dies. Disney's not going to do that. And they have a fucking $1 billion toy franchise and just this Baby Yoda. As popular as it is. So it's not going anywhere.
Hey,
so
he doesn't have any merch yet.
Not yet.
They haven't rolled out anything.
That's
the Funko
true.
Pops, the T-shirts, the posters, everything. It's the Mandalorian, IG-11, and the woman we haven't seen yet.
Gina?
Is that her name?
Oh my God. Did you just say, is that her name?
I know how big of a fan you are of her, okay?
Holy shit. And someone asked in chat,
show.
I do want to answer the question. They asked who Carano's going to be. They thought she was going to be a foundling. They asked if she was going to be a foundling. She's actually going to be a decommissioned, I guess, out of work shock trooper. So that's what she's going to be. And from the set photos, it looks like she's going to aid the Mandalorian in protecting Baby Yoda. I'm hoping because I really don't want her to be a bad guy again.
She's always a bad guy.
Dude, I will
Because
fucking...
she's a bad girl.
Haywire? She was a fucking hero in Haywire, man. You're probably like, what movie was she in? Haywire, what's that?
We know
fucking...
you've seen her entire filmography several times.
Dude, she's fucking... To me, she's the fucking hottest woman in Hollywood. Okay. Cannot wait. I'm praying episode 3 is where she makes her introduction. But yeah, so there's 1,000 ways this can go. So I guess the big question is, let's just say he makes it. Let's say Baby Yoda makes it out of the Mandalorian series.
Bless up for the baby.
Let's hope. Let's pray to the Force for the Baby Yoda. Do you think the reason they're released, Disney or Lucasfilms or whatever you want to call it, does not do things happenstance? The Fallen Order game release, which I'm playing right now, which is pretty fucking awesome. If you ever want to be a Jedi, this is a really fucking good game. The story is fantastic, but it's going to tie into the new movie. Do we think that there's a chance that they released the Mandalorian and gave us this character because he's going to play a part in the new movie?
He'll be old as hell, but
Yoda was 850 when he died.
I was gonna say Yoda wouldn't be old as hell. If he's 50 at a baby, it's what, another 20 years?
Yeah.
He wouldn't be that much older.
He might not be wiping his own ass yet.
Maybe he'll be a shitty teenager, like
He'd be
Groot.
toddler Yoda.
That would be awesome. Like Teenage Groot, we get Teenage Yoda. He's kind of a dick.
He's got like a mohawk.
You know, it's like, Baby Yoda, put your seatbelt on. He like starts fucking force choking you, like he's just a fucking punk.
Yeah. It's like, God, I can't believe you're a clone of the greatest Jedi Master. It's like, yeah,
I know,
I was raised
right?
by a Mandalorian, so eat my shit.
So what do you guys think? What do you want from this series, like going forward? I mean, the space western's fucking cool. I get it, but I'm gonna need more than him. Just like I'm gonna need more story than him just fighting off bounty hunters.
I got 2 words for you.
Okay.
Train heist.
Ooh.
It's a classic. You got it in everything.
So you think there's gonna be a train heist?
Listen, I don't know. I mean, I want there to be one. I feel like a train heist is just perfect for everything.
I thought we were getting fucking like a spoiler alert, groundbreaking info here.
I'm not going into the deep lore stuff. Like, there's way too much stuff you can speculate on right now. I'm like thinking broad strokes, like the return of IG-11, but they fight on a train this time. Like, I'm a kid again watching this. I got burned out on episode 8. I'm like, fuck Star Wars. And then Charles Soule is like, I'm writing Darth Vader. I'm like, yeah, Star Wars. And then, I tried to watch Resistance and I'm like, fuck Star Wars. But now I'm back. I'm the most fair weather fan.
I tell my friend Sam when I do meatheads on movies with, because he is like so anti Star Wars right now, like at this moment. He's hated the last 5 movies. He's fucking hated them.
Oh, come on.
He really has.
Rogue One, at least.
No. Okay. Outside of Rogue One and Solo, he thought those were okay. And I would agree to that. Okay. They weren't awful. Yeah. But I'm just like, I say Star Wars is like the hot chick you just can't say no to. Right? It's like, what you're getting with her. But there's moments that are so fantastic. It's like the best moments you've ever had. But like 90% of her is garbage. You just want to fucking kick her in the throat and throw her out of your fucking car on the highway.
All you can think about is the time when she used to be predictable before she really got into drugs.
You guys didn't hear what Kathleen Kennedy just said, right?
No.
She said, well, with Star Wars, it's really hard because it's not like we have any comic books or 800-page graphic novels to go off of. We have to just do this all by the seat of our pants.
She did not say that.
An article Chris Wisdom sent to me said that she did.
Oh, man.
Dude, she is the fucking worst. She is the Al Davis of the Star Wars universe.
Al Davis.
Listen, she's got her hand in a lot of pies. You can't blame her for ignoring, I don't know, half of everything that's happening.
Half of everything. Shit.
Yeah.
And I think the Mandalorian shows what Star Wars fans have been clamoring for.
That's Dave Filoni, dude.
That's true.
Is Jon Favreau writing the entire season or just these 2 episodes?
No, he's writing the whole thing.
Whole season? Okay.
He's on writer credits for all 7 episodes, 8 episodes.
8.
Actually, it looks like he's not writing 5 and 6.
Oh.
Okay.
But he is writing the rest of them.
Okay.
Good
enough.
And
is he directing all of them then? Is that what it is?
No,
there's a different director.
Not even different director for each episode.
That's true.
Deborah Chow gets 2 episodes. Taika gets 1. Dave Filoni gets 1. Bryce Dallas Howard gets 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Interesting.
All right.
I want to say that she's like executive producer on this too.
Maybe.
Yeah, like
I don't know,
so.
man.
I mean, she's got a hand in it.
When the credits are rolling, I'm not reading the names. I'm looking at that sweet art.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It
really
is
know how to
dope.
keep you engaged when the credits are rolling in this show, which I totally love.
Yeah, that
Give me
is
that.
nice.
Give me that concept art. Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. And it's what's great is when you see these concept pieces, you're like, holy shit! It looks. I mean, they're nailing it as far as that goes. You know, and sometimes you see concept art, and you're like, that we didn't get a scene like that at all. You know, and well, you kind of did. No, that ain't what it looked like. They're nailing it with this.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, so all right. So chapter 2. We almost got something that we've really never seen in the Star Wars universe. And
A baby.
No, not the baby,
Oh,
but
okay.
the force healing. We've never really seen that, but we still didn't get it.
Yeah.
Which
So
It's implied. It could be a thing.
Baby Yoda just wants to fix the boo boo.
yeah, well, I feel like they did that for a reason. Like they didn't. I mean, it was
Foreshadowing.
funny, of course. But like, you know, when he's going up, I'm like, oh shit. And they didn't do it just once. They teased this twice and we still didn't get it. So either
probably
that's going to play a big part in the third act of this series, or they're foreshadowing something with this, because we've never seen that ability yet in the Star Wars universe.
Well, I'm wondering if it's not even going to get to the third act. Like, let's say after this portion, because we still don't know if the Mandalorian's going to turn in Yoda, because he wants that Beskar, obviously, because that's like a big deal to those guys.
Yeah,
But
he's got a whole like cart full of it.
yeah, so maybe something happens along the way where somebody tries to ambush him, and one of his like little crew that he has or something like that gets shot, and it's probably going to die. And then Baby Yoda heals him. He's like, okay, I can't. This is too good. Like, I can't get rid of Baby Yoda.
He works for free.
He works for free. You feed him frogs, for
Give him
God's
a
sake.
couple of frogs.
Hey,
Scratch
you
a little
gotta-
under his chin.
There's got to be some child labor laws in the Star Wars universe somewhere, right?
He's
Dude,
50.
there's still
50.
there's still slaves on the Outer Rim.
That's
Fuck
true.
Yeah.
That's true. And I just now, it's a good point you bring up. I assume, are we still in the Outer Rim right now?
I mean, I would say so. There's like nothing going on.
I
Like,
don't know
it's
where he
everything's remote
crashed.
and
That
shitty
planet
and
that he
terrible.
crashed at, I'm not sure where that is exactly.
I mean, there's Jawas out there scavenging.
I think they're fucking everywhere. They're like the galaxy's rats, right? I mean, they're just they're fucking Coruscant. They're everywhere.
They might be evolved rats in robes, which freaks me the hell out.
It's a swarm of rats, and they just put their eyes all together, so they're all red eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Well-
no, I'd buy it.
Are you suggesting that there's some kind of Jawa king out there, which is a bunch of Jawas that have just been tied together?
Like-
Moving in one
Like the
horrible
dude,
thing?
they
ever.
all take their shit back to this monster, like 9-foot Jawa that's all jacked and shit. And that would be awesome, man.
Big giant Jawa.
That would be fucking cool. That you
That'd
want to
be
talk about a
great.
toy? That would be a fucking toy right there.
Yeah.
You're
Or they
welcome.
like they grab each other's limbs and they like you get 5 of them and they combine into one sweet
Mega Jawa.
Voltron Jawa.
That would be fucking dope.
The Jawa
dude.
Zord.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I would too, man.
Watch it. Just give me a show about the Jawas and the Jawa King.
Dude, this is
Game of
time for-
Thrones meets Jawas. Boom, done.
Oh
Nailed it.
my god, that would be
That's it.
so dope.
King's Landing, the Sandcrawler. It's perfect.
So
Jeffrey Jawarathian.
Oh, we're going down a hole here.
so yeah, like usual, right?
And
What do we have any clue? Do you think the Mandalorian is just going to be like? I'm not saying he's not going to be a new character. He obviously is, but the guy under the mask. I mean, do we feel like, because there was some speculation that he was Boba, all right, and I think those have pretty much been diminished, especially with the flashback scene of him losing his parents, which that could have been Boba losing his parents. We don't know, right?
Well, what, Boba's a second set of parents? How many parents does this poor kid have to lose?
Well, not Boba. Yeah, I guess it would have been Boba. Yeah, like
yeah,
yeah, it's probably not him. Do you guys think it's just going to be a brand new character, or do you think he's going
Yeah.
to have some
Yeah,
type
he's
of
brand
affiliation
new.
with somebody going
I
forward?
think they're doing a good job of not giving us a whole bunch of fan service in terms of like, oh, remember this thing from like Rogue One, where it goes through the marketplace and it's the fucking 2 guys from the first from A New Hope,
Mhm.
She's like, my friends want it on 12 systems.
Yeah.
You'll be dead. That whole thing, like,
Shut
that
up,
was just
that
thrown
was,
in for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, Mandalorian doesn't really have that. Yes, they have the freaking the little rat guy, but like that might not necessarily be that rat guy. It's a species, so it could be him.
I'm pretty sure
Sure.
Salacious Crumb got blown up on Jabba's barge.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
100%. He's super.
Yeah.
dead.
So
Yeah. Well, and even the remember the guy that he got the ride from, the one with like the snout that was playing like the flute.
you mean beloved American actor Nick Nolte?
No.
No, that's not Nick
The
Nolte.
dude that didn't really speak. He just
On the ice planet
Oh, that guy.
when he's calling
Yeah.
for rides.
Yeah,
You know-
the sneaky spy guy from A New Hope.
exactly. Yes, that's the guy that sold
That
him out in the
motherfucking
bar.
bitch. Yeah.
Luke and
I
Obi-Wan.
hate that guy.
Well, I don't know if that's the guy. Again, like Dennis said, that's the species. But I think that's the kind of fan service that this series has given us.
Yeah.
Is it's given us these recognizable species of characters, and we go, "Oh shit, we've seen that before."
Yeah.
You know, it may not be actually that person, or it might
Yeah.
be. We don't know.
I prefer it that way
Yes.
as opposed to just putting it right in. Hey, you remember this? This is a thing, and just like hitting you in the face. It serves no purpose. It's just there for you to be like, I remember that.
Right.
That's the thing that the new trilogy doesn't have, because they have that sort of moratorium on using old species that aren't Chewbacca.
Right.
Yeah, they
Like,
don't
it's
really show a
all-
lot of species.
It's all new aliens in the new movies. So I think this one is kind of like, all right, you guys remember Return of the Jedi? Well, here's all the aliens you remember from 1986.
And again, I think that lends to this feeling familiar, like in bringing back memories of the New Hope and the trilogy that we all loved, right?
Yep.
And I feel like that's been a huge misstep in these last few movies is they haven't revisited the thing. They revisit the things that really don't give us Star Wars. Like Force Awakens was basically a fucking rehash of A New Hope, just a different skin on it. You know, I don't want that. I want new shit, just like The Mandalorian's giving me, with familiar characters, familiar races. Even the guy that he got in a fight with in the first scene, right? The dude's speaking Huttonese.
Mhm.
And have we ever really seen it?
All criminals.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But you see, I never thought about that until I seen that scene. And I'm like, he's speaking fucking Hut. And I'm like, well,
dude.
yeah, why wouldn't he? He's a fucking
Dude,
criminal.
he's gonna drop a hot McClunky on him. You know?
Yeah. What was up with that, man?
I actually, a friend of mine, Donna Dickens, who does a lot of writing for Star Wars stuff, and she might be the most knowledgeable person about Star Wars I know.
Wow.
Yeah, she might like basically speak Huttese at this point, but apparently that's an insult that's hurled in the prequels. That means this is the end for you. So
Really?
he's not just saying like some random gibberish. It's like a phrase that they've used previously, now in the context of A New Hope. Again, for no reason. Like we don't need to see this cantina scene change for the fourth time, but it has. So whatever.
Right.
So basically, Greedo like pulls his gun and he's like, "This is it for you, Solo," and gets cooked at the table. But you know, this is off topic. But have you guys noticed that like every time he edits that scene, he makes Greedo a little more badass? Like
Absolutely.
He's
the first
trying,
time,
yeah.
the first time he did nothing. You know, the next time he shot, and then you know after that maybe he shot a little worse. But now he's like, "This is the end for you, Solo." Like, God damn, Greedo! Like,
Yeah.
just fucking put your dick on the table. Jesus.
There's pictures with me and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah. That's it. That's what it's going to be when, you know, with our kids someday. They're going to be watching the eighth regeneration of A New Hope.
No, because that fat fuck will be dead by then.
You don't know that. His goiter will live on forever.
You don't know that.
It's goiter.
That's not confirmed. You don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So
Yeah. Like people are dumping on this because it's like, oh, McClunky, but it's like, no, he's like laying a pretty thick threat. Although they should have added a subtitle, which I think is a shame.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because how do you know? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, you know, his body language and everything kind of told you kind of what he was saying, but
Yeah.
something like that would have been really cool, man. They probably misfired on that, I think.
Whatever. So the Mandalorian is dealing with all kinds of criminal scum who are, you know, they speak Huttese. They're doing business with some Hutt somewhere. I mean, this is a real establishment of the Bounty Hunters Guild too. You know, on the big screen. We've gotten some of that in some of the other shows, because we've seen like Cad Bane, Aura Singh, Bosk, Dengar,
Yeah.
all the classic bounty hunters before, and I'm praying these guys show up.
Yes.
I want some like bounty hunters with real cred, like
Right.
going for this. You know?
Right. I have in my notes right here because I thought it was interesting. I didn't come up with this, but when I read it, I was like, "Oh shit, that's fucking cool." So the guys, when he liberates the target, Baby Yoda, when he gets Baby Yoda from that armed establishment, you know, the fort, when IG-11 shows up and they shoot up the place.
Yeah.
There's a theory that he was actually being guarded by the Republic.
Oh, so those guys aren't actually outlaws?
No, they were like the good guys trying to keep their asset protected. And here comes the Mandalorian to them. Now that's, you know, of course that's still a theory at this point, but I thought it was interesting.
They were the good guys because of the fact that they're protecting Baby Yoda. And it's not like they were just moving him along, because he would have had to been there long enough for multiple bounty hunters to go there and die.
Yeah.
Because the I Have Spoken guy kept saying, like, people keep coming and trying to kill these guys, and they just keep killing them. So go take care of them. They look like bad guys because that's like the trope. Oh, that's like a evil looking reptile thing. So it's obviously a bad guy, but then it turns out, oh no, actually they're protecting Baby Yoda. So
yeah, I wonder who these other factions are, because this seems like a pretty big deal. And, you know, of course, IG-11 was obviously hired by someone else to assassinate Baby Yoda, because, you know, Mandalorian was like, "Hey, dead or alive?" You know, the doctor was like, "Well, we want him alive. We can." And, you know, Herzog's like, "It doesn't matter," or whatever the fuck he says. I don't know. I can't never say it as cool as he would.
Bounty hunting is a complicated, a complicated profession.
I actually had that queued up, and I guess when the Zoom came in and everything, it got all fucked up when I went live. I'm like, shit, I really wanted to show that scene because I love that scene so much.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in
there
post.
you go.
Yeah. Anything can be fixed in post.
So I didn't even think about the possibility that it could be somebody else putting a bounty out. I was thinking Herzog was just fucking him over and just hiring as many people as possible to go and take it out.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think he really doesn't care whether it comes back dead or alive. So I don't think he would have commissioned someone to actually kill it, which, you know, IG-11 had specific orders. It was supposed to be dead. So I'm pretty sure someone else is in the picture here trying to kill it.
Well, the other reason I say that is because the tone changed when the doctor came in, because the doctor's like, whoa, we talked about it coming back alive. So I'm wondering if the doctor never came in. He's like, you could just kill that thing. It's fine.
Yeah. Just bring it back.
Yeah, just bring back the body.
Yeah, Casey, do you think that Herzog's character hired other bounty hunters just in case the Mandalorian didn't get it done?
Well, here's the thing: is one, is Werner Herzog the only person looking for it, right? And second, is everybody getting a commission through the guild? Like, we know IG-11 is for sure, but his commission is just to kill it.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of conflicting information, but, like, you know, where did all those Trandoshans come from? Like, do you think they were also?
Well, they were in the bar, or the guild bar, whatever it was. Like, you could see them in the background.
Oh,
because they did show them a couple of times, especially when he talked about, oh, this one doesn't have a puck or whatever. Like, it showed a group of Trandoshans, so I figured those were the same guys.
Then they followed him.
Either followed him or they were because they had the tracker.
They had a tracker. Yeah.
They were also
guild.
Damn. Yeah, maybe he did put a lot of feelers out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cooler if it wasn't him, and we've got some other party, maybe Republic. Well, they wouldn't be trying to kill it. So I don't know who it would be.
If the Republic knew it existed and they were sitting on protecting it, I just, like, are you really just going to sit on a nuclear bomb like that?
Yeah,
just for years.
You'd protect it a lot better than putting it in the middle of a desert planet with like 20 dudes.
Oh yeah, I seem to think they did somebody else like that a while back. Worked out pretty good.
Yeah, but
it was one guy, and he didn't even give it to the one.
He was
guy.
a fucking baby too when they gave it away.
Yeah, but it's a white kid. They blend in really easy.
Yeah, my white kids. We'll put him out in the sand planet. They'll never find him.
I feel like if anybody affiliated with the New Republic found this baby that looks like Yoda, they'd be like, oh hey, you, the guy who blew up the first Death Star and killed the Emperor, you who's walking around and has an active role in government, maybe you should take this super baby. Or your sister, who has an even more active role in government. I don't know.
That's
And
true.
Luke was too busy trying to kill his nephew at that point. He was thinking about it. He's like, in
So-
15 years, I'm going to try and kill
So
him.
let's
I'm gonna kill my nephew.
So
I
let's
can't
just
have
say
another-
let's just say that the Republic was taking care of this baby. They did it pretty well for 50 years.
Yeah. Or, however long that they had it. If there's enough bounty hunters where this, Nick Nolte is like, listen, these guys got to get off my planet because they're really bumming out my vibe.
Yeah. That's a great point, because he even said, like, I think that's why he kind of helped the Mandalorian. He's like, look, I'm going to help you because in turn you're really helping me.
Yeah.
Because I would assume it seemed like he had been there for a while, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did y'all get that feeling too?
Yeah.
I get that he's there a while, but I'm pretty sure he's not originally from there.
No. Yeah, I agree. His race, because I had to look that up. His race, when the Mandalorian gives him that offer, and he's like, man, I lived my life to get out of the life of servitude, so I'm not going back to it. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, but his race,
It's an Ugnaught.
the
Is
what?
he?
I'm pretty sure he's an Ugnaught.
Yeah,
Little
he
pig-
is.
He's
Little
not
pig
some.
pe-
He's
little
not some
pig
kind
people.
of Ugnaught offshoot. He's definitely one of them.
I think he's an Ugnaught.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yeah, because their race are like, they're incredibly hardworking.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Really
kind
good
of
with
reason they
mechanical things,
get
too.
put into slavery, is because they work so hard, and they're usually really, really good at building shit, being engineers and all that. That's kind of like their life is revolved around their work. But apparently this one's lived long enough to be like, you know what? I'd rather, fucking sit and do nothing. I've done that. I'm ready to retire. We finally met an Ugnaught that had a retirement plan. So
I just can't wait for his backstory. Where he's like, yeah, I used to mine for Tabana gas, and then one day this real hustler came in, just everything went downhill after that on Cloud City, and I'm just like,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
was
it's
there.
and again, the Mandalorian's doing that, man. They're giving us these characters with very little screen time, and you want to know more. I want to know more about that guy. He's obviously not a warrior or anything, but he's lived a long life, and he's probably seen a lot of shit, and it would just be really cool to get his backstory. I don't know if we will or not in a 30-minute fucking episode.
Yeah.
That really, I'm kind of bummed out about that, to be honest.
Well, are all the episodes supposed to be that short, or is it just these first two? Because that does seem short for
I
a show.
would've
Like typically a Netflix show is an hour.
Yeah. And there's
So,
only 8 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if these, like I was saying before the show, or maybe we said it already, but like I feel like these were once one episode, and they're like, shit, we need 8. Fuck it, just cut this one in half. And
I don't know the pacing of
it's
it.
like, because it's like the same spot. Like it kind of like if you stuck these 2 episodes together and just maybe shaved off a little bit here or there, it would totally make sense for this to like, okay, I would believe this is one episode.
Yeah. And they're like, oh wait, Baby Yoda's too big of a twist. We got to keep him hanging for another 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not being able to binge the show, I think, does it a lot of favors with the speculation and
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I like that or not. It keeps you wanting more. It keeps you going back to the app, and I
It
think
keeps
that's
you paying for at least 3 months of Disney Plus.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I'm definitely not watching it on some website that Travis gave me one time in the long ago, so I don't have to pay for Disney Plus yet. Definitely not.
Not to sell out to our corporate masters or anything, but the absolute madness of the library that's on there.
Oh, it's a great value.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
I'm
Yeah.
between jobs. I'm trying to save penny. I'm penny pinching right now. Okay,
I hear ya.
I hear you.
$5 here and there. I'll take it.
I
Yeah.
hear you. Well, guys, in wrapping it up, what's your final thoughts? What do you think about it going forward?
There's an Easter egg that we haven't. It's not even an Easter egg. It's just something that made me giggle. In the first episode, did anybody happen to notice who the taxi driver was?
The taxi driver.
It's beloved comedian Brian Posehn.
Brian Posehn. The reason I'm even on this show right now.
Oh,
because I would have started Botched if it wasn't for Brian Posehn, who made a D&D comedy podcast called Nerd Poker.
Huh.
And because his show went off the air, we started our show. He's doing Nerd Poker again. But yeah, no, super big nerd.
Really?
There's other good cameos. Beloved character actor from Saturday Night Live, Horatio Sands.
Yep.
Yes, I thought that's who that was.
That's him. Yeah, he's the first Mark.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Burr's going to be on the show too. Because he's got like shoulder cannons or something in the 1 second you see him in the trailer.
Really?
Yeah, Bill Burr. I was like, I would not have expected Bill Burr to be an action hero in anything. But
anything.
I'll take it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. They got Bobby from Sons of Anarchy is going to be in this. Melinda May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
Also Mulan. Also Chun-Li.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Big
did
ups.
see where she was going to be in it. I think she's a reoccurring. She's not going to be just a cameo, right?
I have no idea. I haven't followed any news or anything. I wanted to be totally surprised on
I
this
think
one.
she is going to be a reoccurring. I don't know for how long, but I think she's going to be
the woman who plays Tonks from Harry Potter is going to be in this.
Tonks.
She also played Asha in Game of Thrones.
Asha. Definitely remember all of these names.
Listen, I don't know. She was Remus Lupin's wife in Harry Potter. She could shapeshift into stuff. She's cool. She's a Hufflepuff. I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Never seen them.
Oh, man.
You're not missing much.
My girlfriend. You're in the doghouse now, Jones.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I tried to watch the first one. I think I got through it. It took me a few times.
It might be out of your age demographic by the time.
My lady friend plays Quidditch professionally, so
but,
it's a thing.
But they, what was cool about them is they grew with their audience, right? Because they were damn near grown when the series ended, right?
They're adult. They're like college kids when the series ends. Yeah.
Did it ever get adult? Sure,
technically
did.
at the very, very end. Yes.
Yeah, you want to know if
shows
Daniel
them when they're
Radcliffe was
older.
getting down and dirty by the end of those movies? Is
How
that
many
what
of those
you're
kids did
driving
you
at?
fuck? That's what Travis wants to know.
Yeah. Well, the one Harry Pounder that I seen,
Harry Pounder.
that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I got all the way through that one. Didn't fall asleep at all. But yeah, Harry Pounder. It's pretty good. So final thoughts.
I love this. It makes me feel like a kid again. I love the speculation and all the buzz that's going online. I love Baby Yoda. He's the greatest thing. I'm gonna get a framed picture of him on my desk at work. I'm living for Baby Yoda right now.
You're ready for the toy release, right?
Give me like a life-size plush. I could just perfect.
Like the Snorlax version, like the giant one. It's like a beanbag, and you just like fold up in its arms. And you're like, you can hold me, Baby Yoda.
That would be cool.
I'm Baby.
Or better yet, sleeping bag. You crawl into Baby Yoda's mouth and you stick your head out the top,
You're the frog.
like the Tauntaun sleeping bag.
Why haven't they hired you?
No shit. Dennis, final thoughts?
I'm really curious to see where this show goes. They haven't given us enough information to really telegraph what's going to happen or anything like that, which is why we have all this speculation. I really wish. I mean, I like the fact that you can't watch it all one time, but I don't, because I want to just watch the whole freaking thing one time and be like, okay, and then I could watch it again and again and again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really digging it. Like I love Westerns too, so more of that. Cool beans. Introduce some more characters with like interesting backstories. Build more world without relying too heavily on fan service. Yes, this is what Star Wars should be.
Yeah.
And it's going to be funny when it makes the new movie look like crap in comparison.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm anticipating. The
That's a
movie's
good
going to come
point.
out and you're like, wow, I'm just going to go watch Mandalorian again because that's better.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I've been more excited for the Mandalorian than the new movie, just because, again, bad girlfriend experience.
I read the leaks and I'm not happy.
Dude,
So
me too. I'm not.
So-
We're not doing that.
here's hoping that's a lie.
I'm trying
Not
to.
today.
We're getting too close now. I'm trying to stay away from all of it.
1 month, dude. That's it. And
Yeah,
then Star Wars will be over forever.
Snap kills Dumbledore.
But I agree. I agree with most of what you guys have said. I love the Western feel. I absolutely dig it. It feels like home. The fan service that they are giving us is fucking great. The pacing to me could be sped up a little bit. I think I see what they're doing, and I'm totally on board. But I would like a little bit more, and I think we'll get that. I do think we'll get more. But this is what we've wanted. I know this is what I've wanted. I think it's what you guys have wanted too, is just original stories set in this universe that we've all come to know and love. And totally fucking pumped for chapter 3. And speaking of chapter 3, we'll be right back here next week, guys, talking about chapter 3, talking about what we've seen, speculating further, going down more rabbit holes. I'm sure more Starlight pits. As we continue for the rest of this series. So tune in here, Blazing Defender channel on Twitch. Hit that follow button. That way you get notified anytime that I go live. Casey, where can guys find you at?
You can find me at the Bad Coyote Funky podcast, now going 4 years strong, which I cannot believe.
Nice.
Yeah, listen, it's a hard work. It's me and a bunch of my fellows, much like this, talking Nerd News Roundtable every Thursday night at 9 p.m. You can also find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Bad Coyote Funky. Thank you, Debo, for the hookup. Wow.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Is he Debo, can we hire you?
No. Debo is not he's not for hire.
He's a one-man show.
He's Blazing Defender all the way. So just fucking get your own hype, man. Get your own hype, man. Yeah, Dennis, where can we find you at, brother?
So I am the world's most okayest DM over on the Botched D&D podcast. It's a comedy podcast where we get drunk and play Dungeons and Dragons. Although right now we are in like a Cult of Cthulhu 1932 New York City sort of thing. So it's not super D&D-ish, but we use the rule set kind of. So you can check that out. I didn't start, but I'm trying to get affiliated on my own Twitch page. So twitch.tv/world's most okayest DM. I'll put it in the chat right there. I need 36 more follows. So if you want to head on over there and just hit the follow button, that'd be much appreciated. I'm going to be streaming every day. Tomorrow, I'm doing a cooking show where I'll be making protein balls, and then I'm going to make some beer cheese dip in a bread boat.
Oh.
A bread boat, not a bowl, a boat.
Yeah.
But you know what's one ingredient you definitely need?
Beer?
Egg! And
then I think in January, we're planning to do our show live on Twitch, the Botch Show. So head on over to twitch.tv/Botch podcast and give that a follow for whenever that happens.
Yeah, Debo.
Our shows come out on Monday, unless you're a Patreon subscriber over at patreon.com/podcast. You get it on Saturday. Just throwing that out there.
Debo has put all your links in there already.
Thank you, Debo.
Your Patreon, your Twitch channel, all of it, man. He is the man. So guys, tune in again next week, probably about the same time. We'll get the day figured out. Follow the Blazing Defender on the Facebook page and on Instagram, and you'll get notifications, or I'll be posting promo material on when we get a day together. Sometimes our schedules don't align, but we'll work it out for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Give me your feedback, and hope to see you again next week. For that, the Mando Monolouges, we're out. Peace.